go away from this.
You can go, fire walk, talk to the people.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You've heard my name. It's
No, what's
Bill.
it again?
You've heard my name.
Say your name again.
I'm gonna say it again. You got somewhere to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll speed it up. First name. My real name is William. That's my government name. Most people call me Bill. Now, my 92-year-old mama, when she's mad, will still call me William. My last name is Noakes. It's spelled Noakes. And that's how it's pronounced. All right, I am approaching 70 years of age. So, Al, I don't know if you're joking when you talk about a young man. But I will say this, is I was born in Washington, D.C. in the year 1956. And why do I talk about that? Because I saw something yesterday that took me back to my childhood years in a segregated city. I saw a meme from the man that's been elected president of the United States that depicted Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as apes, as monkeys, as less than human. And I didn't know if that was real or not.
It was true.
And a song came into my head by the Ghetto Boys. My mind's playing tricks on me. Because that's what I thought when I saw that. And I said, this can't be real. And then I looked it up, and it was. I thought maybe it was a TikTok trick. But it really happened. And it takes me back to when I was a boy in Washington, D.C. And my mother would say to us, before she took us downtown, make sure you go to the bathroom. And I didn't understand it at that time. Only later would I understand that what she was saying to me is, go to the bathroom now, because when we go downtown to shop at this department store, they won't let you go to the bathroom there. They'll let you buy stuff there. They won't even let you try it on. But you can buy stuff there. Well, I'm running for Attorney General of the state of Michigan. And the reason why I'm running for Attorney General for the state of Michigan is because as I look out on this audience, I believe I'm the only candidate that knows and understands your story, our story. I'm not from the suburbs. I've lived in the suburbs before, but I live in the city of Detroit. I know the struggles and the troubles of the city of Detroit. Last week, I think it might have been Tashana that mentioned we used to have 14 congressional districts.
Used to have 15.
Well, if you look back in history, at one point we had 18 congressional districts in the state of Michigan. People have left. Now, there has been some growth, but when people talk about we're coming back, who's coming back? Who's coming back, and what is it for? Oh, we have nice, shiny new arenas to play basketball. We have nice, shiny places where they can play football and baseball. How many nice, shiny neighborhoods do we have now?
Come on now.
Not mine.
River Rouge. I'm going to shout y'all out for a minute. Marathon. Marathon Oil is the biggest single polluter in the state of Michigan. And nothing has been done about it.
That's right.
Nothing has been done about it. And we look at the EPA under that man in Washington, that man in the White House, and they are doing even less than they were before. So we're not going to educate you. We've devastated the Department of Education. We're not going to educate you. We're not going to feed you, taking away SNAP. If you're a veteran, we don't give a damn if you die,
Come on.
because we are eliminating veterans benefits. And I care about that because I am a veteran. I served in the United States. I served in the United States Air Force as a captain and judge advocate for 5 years. So we're looking at a time when we need somebody to stand up for us in this room. I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're Chinese or Latino. We need somebody who is going to know our story and stand up for us. Now, there are 2 other candidates, and typically a candidate addressing the group is told never to mention the other candidates. Well, I'm going to break that rule. Because frankly, I've spent a lifetime of breaking rules. I've been practicing law for going on 44 years. I wasn't even supposed to go to college, according to people. My high school counselor actually suggested that you might want to take up something with your hands, because you're really good in shop class. That wasn't what I wanted to do, and that wasn't what I was intended to do. So he was shocked when I got into the University of Notre Dame, where I went undergraduate. And then when I left to go to law school, I applied to the University of Chicago Law School. Now, most people don't know much about it. They hear Harvard, they hear Yale, but at that time, the University of Chicago was the highest ranked law school in the country. And I applied, and I didn't think I would get in. And I'd been accepted to the one other law school that I applied to, which was Notre Dame. All I had to do was walk across the quad to the law school. And so I thought I would write a letter to the Dean of Admissions at the University of Chicago Law School, telling him that it would be the biggest single mistake he'd ever make in not admitting me. So he should admit me.
Yep.
I typed that letter up. I walked down to the mailbox, used to have to do that, dropped the letter in the mailbox, turned to walk back to my dorm. I stopped, and I thought, what the heck have you just done? Oh my God, your life is in ruins. And I went back to the mailbox and tried to stick my hand in to get the letter out.
That's a crime.
Well, they made mailboxes where you can't do that. So I went back to my dorm. And I just sat there thinking, oh my God, I'll never get in. But that's okay. I've been admitted to Notre Dame, and they're going to give me a fairly good financial package. 2 days later, I got a phone call. Well, actually, there was only one phone on the floor. So somebody said, hey, Bill, you got a call. Okay, well, who is it? I don't know, some guy that sounds official. So I go to take the phone call, and the voice on the other end of the line says, hello, William Noakes? Yes. This is Dean Badger. Who? Dean Dick Badger, the Dean of Admissions? I got your letter. Oh. And the committee is going to meet and decide whether to admit you. And we'll get back to you in a few days. A few days later, I get a phone call. Bill, I just wanted to let you know that you've been admitted to the University of Chicago Law School for the class of 1981. Now, I started the law school in 1981, decided after a couple of years I was also going to get a master's degree, so I didn't graduate until 1982. But years later, I was on the board of visitors at the law school, and I was teaching at the law school. And I asked Dick Badger, I said, remember, you told me that there was a committee that was going to decide whether I would get in or not? He said, yes. I said, who was on the committee? He pointed to himself. Wow. It was him. So sometimes you just have to do what's audacious. And in my life, I have done audacious things. I'm just going to mention 2. One of them is I was the executive vice president of Meyer and their chief legal officer. And we were having a meeting concerning the sales in the various districts. And one of the young men mentioned the Detroit district or Detroit market. And I looked at him and said, you can't say that. He said, well, why not? I said, because we don't have any stores in Detroit. And now you could say Detroit metro market, we got stores in Warren, we got stores in a number of places, but not a one in the city of Detroit. And I said, until you can put a store in the city of Detroit, then don't basically keep Detroit out your mouth. And so that was the beginning of the movement by the company to build stores in the city of Detroit. People don't realize just how important it is sometimes to be in the room.
Yes.
And because I was in that room, there are now Meijer stores in Detroit. There are 3, and my understanding is there will be a 4th within the next year or so. The second thing is how many of y'all have driven down the Davison Freeway in your life? Y'all know where it is. It's that 1 mile road between the Lodge and 75. Well, there was a point in time when that road was going to cease to exist as a highway, because the Engler administration, they had promised that they would renovate that road. And then once Chrysler moved to Auburn Hills, they changed their mind. Now, they spent 30 some odd million dollars to put an interchange in Auburn Hills to accommodate Chrysler, but they wouldn't spend $5 million to renovate the Davison Freeway. So I sued them. I was the deputy corporation counsel for Wayne County at the time, and I sued them on behalf of the city of Highland Park and Wayne County. Well, you see what the result is. The Davison Freeway still exists. Okay, I'm not going to spend much more time, because I look to you to do what's right for you. I'd like your support, and I'll ask for your support. But I just wanted to say something about the other 2 candidates. One of them is probably very qualified. He clerked for Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But ask him what battles he's been in. He'll say that he's fought Trump, even though he's the prosecutor of Washtenaw County. I don't know how he did that. The other one, well, we'll just let it go at her name is Karen. So I won't be saying anything else about that. Now, people have given her endorsements. She's gotten the endorsements of the AFL-CIO. She's gotten the endorsements of, I don't know who else, how many groups. The only endorsement that I want is the endorsement of people like you in this room. And we've talked about the importance of precinct delegates and the importance of you coming out at a convention. Well, there's another song that comes to mind, and that's an old one. It goes back to when I was probably in junior high school. It's a song by Curtis Mayfield. If there's a hell below, we all gonna go. Well, that will be true if you don't turn out on April 19th. If you turn out on April 19th, as I expect you will, there will be a hell below, but y'all won't be going. Somebody else will. And we hope it's everybody with an R next to their name. Now, I just want to end this on a positive note. After all, I am a Baptist preacher, so I have to be somewhat positive. One last song by the group Earth, Wind, and Fire. And that song says it all. Keep your head to the sky. And that's what we always have to do, even in times like this where there are people who will disrespect us, people who will disregard us, and people who would denigrate us. We must keep our head to the sky. Again, my name is Bill Noakes. You can look me up on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram. You'll find me, and then you can look up on LinkedIn. You can actually look at my entire background.
What question?
I will take questions, yes.
Wait, before you take questions, this is what I'm gonna do. We have other candidates in here as well. I want them to come up and